killers were captured far away from the New Orleans jail they and 7 others broke out of a week and a half ago. One was caught in Baton Rouge, Louisiana yesterday, the other 2 in Walker County, Texas.
A manhunt still underway for the final 2 remaining escapees. Derek Groves, convicted of multiple murders and was awaiting sentencing before the prison break. And Antoine Massey, charged with domestic abuse and car theft. Another alleged accomplice also arrested yesterday, accused of assisting Massey after the escape. That brings the total number of alleged accomplices all the way up to 13.
Fox's Todd Pyro. In Philadelphia, there's a search for multiple gunmen who shot into a crowd of people last night. 2 were killed, 9 others injured. In Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a boat blew up last night, injuring 11 people, including children.
U.S. Coast Guard officials say there were 13 people on board when the explosion happened, and surveillance video shows the incident, followed by multiple people being tossed into the water. Fort Lauderdale fire rescue officials say Good Samaritans rushed to help the injured, several of whom had significant burns. Investigators are looking into what caused the explosion.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Russia's taking control of 4 more border villages in Ukraine after a weekend bombardment that led President Trump to call Russia's leader crazy.
The Wall Street Journal reports President Trump is eyeing sanctions against Russia this week.
Fox's Madeline Rivera.
On Capitol Hill, pressure is growing for President Trump to take tougher action against Russia, especially after it launched its largest drone and missile attack against Ukraine over the weekend. Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley wrote on X, "I had enough of Putin killing innocent people. President Trump take action, at least sanctions."
Billie Eilish, the big winner at the American Music Awards, which are voted on by fans.
This means the world to me. I am just so lucky to get to do what I do and to do it with you. I love you all so much.
I was on CBS through Dick Clark Productions. Eilish won the award in all 7 categories she was nominated. America's listening to Fox News.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
After House Republicans approved what they call one big beautiful bill to fund President Trump's agenda last week, there is opposition in the Senate, even though Democrats can't block the bill on their own.
Senator Ron Johnson is one of the most vocal GOP voices against the version of the tax and spending bill passed by the House by a single vote. Over the weekend, Johnson said there's enough Republicans to stop the process. The Wisconsin Republican has concerns the resolution could add over $2 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. President Trump is urging Congress to pass the bill as soon as possible. The big, beautiful bill contains trillions in tax and spending cuts, as well as funding for border and national security. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Texas takes a step toward preventing non-citizens from voting in elections there with a resolution signed by Republican Governor Greg Abbott.
The state constitution currently prohibits people under the age of 18 and those judged mentally incompetent or those with felony convictions from voting. The resolution adds those who are not U.S. citizens to that list. However, it still needs to be ratified by the voters.
Fox's Gary Baumgarten. On Wall Street, stocks could surge at the opening bell. Dow futures up more than 500 points. In the NBA playoffs, the Oklahoma City Thunder now 1 win away from the NBA Finals after Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 40 points in the Thunder's 128-126 win over Minnesota on ESPN. The league's MVP this season, Gilgeous-Alexander, says they know a Game 5 win gives OKC the Western Conference Championship.
Play to our identity on both ends of the floor. If we do that, we'll be just fine. If not, it can get ugly. So we just got to be who we are, trust our work, trust our habits.
On the ice, Carolina avoids a sweep.
That's still empty, and Jordan Staal makes it 3-0 Hurricane.
That's how it ended on TNT, a 3-0 shutout win over Florida, but the defending Stanley Cup champion Panthers still lead the NHL Eastern Conference final 3 games to 1. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news Pittsfield High School morning after 2 students killed in a 2-car crash in Morgan County. Officials confirming that senior Jesse Davidsmeyer and junior Joel Noble died and followed an accident Saturday at the intersection of Highway 67 and Woodson-Winchester Road in Woodson. Counseling and additional resources are available. A teen charged after a 4-year-old shot in Champaign. Police say a young child found with a gunshot wound to the foot Saturday at an apartment in the 2400 block of North Neal Street. Child sent to the hospital in stable condition. The teen arrested. Additional charges including reckless discharge of a firearm. Illinois Department of Natural Resources monitoring black bear sightings in southwestern Illinois. Bear first spotted last Monday in St. Clair County. Animal observed again Wednesday and Thursday last week in the same county. Bear has had no interaction with humans, but has damaged some beehives on private property. Watch out for those bears. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, hope you had a great weekend, 3-day weekend, Memorial Day, chance to remember those that made the ultimate sacrifice. Mm-hmm. And, I have to totally look to see what month I'm in here now because that was a whole day off.
It's May 27th.
Okay, and it's still May. Okay, so I'm keeping track here.
Well, and to me, it's what day is it because it feels like a Monday.
Yeah, May 27th. Mm-hmm. Would you say, Diane?
It feels like a Monday
Tuesday.
to me. Yeah,
Tuesday.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, well, there's a Texas law now that, what did I say about smartphones? Was I not the stodgy principal in the corner wailing about that 4 years ago?
Well, your rule was 18 and up.
Okay, that's what Texas is about
You're
to pass.
kidding.
No smartphones for minors.
No way.
Really?
That's what I'm talking. Now they've got a law, and I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That I was on it. I was told this is a destructive tool for the majority of teenagers.
Yes.
Destructive.
Yes, they've lost the ability to communicate face to face.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention the crap, I mean, literal awful pornography that you can.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, remember they used to cover all the Playboys with like a cover sheet?
That's right.
And now there's no cover of anything, and it's on your wrist. It's right there.
I know.
Anyway, I felt very old saying all that, but I was right. Mm-hmm. I was certainly right. Texas starting the wave. Isn't it going to be better without the phone in your hand? You can have a phone to call mom, but,
emergency cases.
My kids had a phone at middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th, but it was only to call mom.
Mm-hmm.
It was never to search and go online to see how many people are berating because you're too fat. What the heck is all this? This is crazy. Unbelievable. Anyway, hey, good start to the morning. Good start.
Yes.
Lon Kruger, the great Lon Kruger. Good start. Okay, ladies and
that's
gentlemen.
after a 3-day weekend.
That's right. We're fresh and ready to go.
Morning therapy here.
Here we go. 217-359-2255. Should Illinois, never happen, ban minors from smartphones?
The genie's out of the bottle.
Let's go. No, they're doing it in Texas now. But then they'll be bootlegging.
I know.
What are you doing over there?
There's going to be a way for the kids to figure it out.
All right, time for weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you, Neighborhood Night starts in June. June 4 will be at Carl Park, right across from the Urbana Park District, with the occasional Cajun band. It's a free show in various parks every week, 6:30 to 8, free popcorn and lemonade. Take note, June 4, learn details at urbanaparks.org.
All right, my friend, nice, cool temperatures still remain, and I see a little rain, perhaps, huh?
Yeah, we'll get a few sprinkles, maybe none too far south of the Philo-Sydney area, down around Tuscola right now, out of some mid-level cloud, a little filtered sun in areas here and points to the north and east as well. A little patch of rain over the western end of the state, some scattered light shower activity over the western and northwestern Corn Belt. Boy, those folks out there have made rapid progress. Still some delays in the southern and far southeastern areas of the Corn Belt, but boy, I tell you, down there towards Brother Johnny's place, the southeastern plains and across Bayou Country in the Delta and deep south and southeast, they have just been beat up time and time before over the past 3-day weekend, and some big storms outside of Johnny's place this morning down into eastern Texas around Houston and Galveston, and some rain towards the Ohio River as well. Out the door this morning, temperatures are not bad, and yeah, we have a nice pattern shift coming our way. Readings over at Willard and Savoy, 59 there, 57 at Rantoul later today. Still below average when we ought to be somewhere about 75, 76, 70 today, with a couple of drippy, sprinkly showers around this morning and back in this afternoon. nothing big on any of these rains here for today or tonight. Low down to 55. Tomorrow, partly sunny. Shower chance both morning and afternoon. The high near 70 on a north-northwesterly wind. The sun and clouds, 72. Light north wind, not bad Thursday. Warming up nicely Friday, 77. Here comes Saturday and the weekend and the first day of June on Sunday. Weekend highs 81 on Saturday, 85 Sunday. We're in the low to mid-80s. More summer-like for a change Monday and Tuesday of next week. Steve Day broadcasting, I'm just Greg Solgay.
All right, off and running. Again, you're welcome to join us on the Fisher National Bank text line. Democrats are spending $20 million trying to get the man back to vote for them.
I see.
I have the answer for them.
Okay.
New ideas.
Okay.
How about no tampons in fifth grade boys basketball, boys restrooms, which Tim Walz was proponent of.
Okay.
How about no men can have babies? How come, why not men don't play in women's sports? Let's try the basics.
Right.
And see if you can get American men back. But just marketing? This isn't a marketing. It's an idea thing. What are you talking about? Wake up.
Yeah.
They just, they're on the wrong path.
Okay.
They're taking the fork in the road. They're taking both of them. Can't do both. Okay, yeah, you can call us if you would like. Mary Lou Retton caught with DUI.
Yeah. Wasn't she America's sweetheart?
She did the perfect 10.
I think
she
so.
did the perfect 10. The smile. She's 57.
Right.
Holy moly! That little girl. She's 4'9".
Arrested in West Virginia. This story posted 12 hours ago. So
listen, I drink as much as you want, throw up, feel hungover for a week. I don't care, but you can't drive. I guess
the incident happened on Saturday, May 17th. A single count of driving under the influence, controlled substances, or drugs, says the.
So, I mean, I wonder what the levels, nothing.
But the gymnast made history in 84 Summer
1984.
Olympics.
That is 41 years ago.
Winning
I
gold
wonder,
all around.
Yeah, she was amazing. Perfect 10. She needed it, and she did it. She had to have a 10, and she did it. Yeah, it's just one of those deals where, again, if you drink, just don't operate. I can't, I'm so anal, and yet I know I'm vulnerable. Anything can happen to you. If you don't think stuff can happen to you, then you're wrong. You have to be humble and understand, like, I'll never do it. Well, you always got to be ready because there are evil forces out there that kind of mess you up. So be very humble in the fact that you are vulnerable. But I'll be at weddings and I won't toast. Because what if the officer says, hey, have you had anything? Well, I had a sip of champagne. Drinking and driving, are you? That's how it works.
I know.
You can't be. I was only no. You were drinking and driving.
Right.
Well, I was only 0.03. I mean, anyway, I know zillions of people in Champaign County go and have a beer after work. I just can't because of that. He's drinking and driving. No, you only had a beer.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm more in the public, so I'm more conscious of that and I'm fearful of it. I just don't want that to happen. But in any event, that's a shame. And she'll West Virginia. She lives in West Virginia?
It was 100 miles south of Pittsburgh, it says.
That's West Virginia, isn't it? Okay.
So I also was looking up because I saw Mission Impossible yesterday, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed the final reckoning.
Sometimes it's fun to be with other people. Did the crowd react well?
Yes, and we all clapped after it was all over.
That's it now. No more Mission Impossible?
That was the buzz coming out of the theater is I think they left room for more.
Yeah, but
does he have one more in him?
I don't know. His body is he's 60-something years old.
Right.
I don't know how much.
Let me look that
and
up.
He's not
62.
He's not gonna not do his stunts, right? So
right, and it's amazing if he actually did. How do they do that? And it could be that it's all character generated or these screens and all that. And he just has a big fan blowing.
He's
on
not
him
doing that
as he's hanging from the biplane.
No, he doesn't do that. he likes doing those things. He was in whatever it was. He jumped from roof to roof and broke his ankle.
Yeah.
They stopped shooting for 6 months or
That's
something.
right.
All right.
Some of the top movies over the weekend, though, Lilo and Stitch was number one. And, they've made that so it's live action or something.
Well, I don't
it's not
know.
a cartoon anymore,
What?
and it made $183 million in 4 days.
It feels like it's starting to come back, but what happened to movies?
I know. It feels like everything has been done before.
I mean, Lilo and Stitch, you have a movie you can actually take the kids to, so that's a big deal.
Yes.
Mission Impossible's got a brand. I mean, it's got Top Gun.
$77 million for second place.
That's a lot less than 183.
I know.
Wow.
Final Destination, Bloodlines, $24 million. Thunderbolts at $11 million, and Sinners for $11 million.
Yeah. Well, again, the thought of going to the movie barely crosses my mind. I want to see Mission Impossible.
You know, I went to a gathering on Sunday and was like, does anybody want to go see this? But we just wait for it to come.
Crickets.
I'm gonna.
Crickets.
We're just watching at the house after it's been
900 options at the house. All right, check your sports headlines.
St. Louis Cardinals lost to the Baltimore Orioles. Let's get more details.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney, and yesterday at Camden Yards in Baltimore, the Cardinals had errors by Nolan Gorman and by Brendan Donovan lead to Baltimore runs, and Baltimore beat the Cardinals 5-2.
Eric Fenny wasn't sharp for the Cardinals either, and the Orioles won their third game in a row. It's the first time all year they've done that. They're off to a rough start. Cardinals 0-1 on the road trip. They had been playing better on the road. Perhaps today will be much better.
The Cardinals today will be going with Andre Palante, and at times Andre has been really sharp.
He really has, and let's hope the Cardinals offense can start clicking too. This is a pitching staff for the Orioles that struggled.
And it was Nolan Arenado out of the lineup yesterday, and he may be good to go against the Orioles tonight.
Nolan Gorman did make the error for the Cardinals, but replacing him, he picked up a couple of hits. That's a good sign.
The Cardinals and the Orioles on the air at 4:40 today. 5:25, Ricky will have the lineups. I'll bring you the first pitch at 5:35 from Camden Yards.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Cubs got a series with Colorado's Rockies in Wrigley, and I have a feeling "Go Cubs Go" is going to be sung a lot at the end of the game.
Colorado Rockies have won 9 times.
Oh, man.
9.
Is that true?
White Sox have won 17. Baltimore,
7-45.
9. They've gotten to 9.
Wait, 9-45.
Yeah, 9-45.
Fifth in the National League West.
Well, I mean, it's last in all of baseball. It's not a question. What place you in?
Right.
Oh, my gosh. They fired the manager, but it's more of a AAA kind of team. It's just not matched to play other teams right now.
Is that something that your son-in-law Jacob would look at? Is I could play for the Rockies if they needed that kind of outfielder position?
Actually, you want to go where you can play. So young players would love to go to Colorado, even though you lose every day. You might develop and get a chance.
Yeah.
Check your weather, brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you, always looking for good people on their team. Carl.org/career for details.
All right, Fox Business will be coming up next. Stand by. It's Tuesday, I did it. May 27th.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Hopefully enjoy that long holiday weekend. Caught a break of the rainfall. That was nice to enjoy. But a piece of that weather system that's impacting big rain and big severe weather outbreaks on the southern plains, lower Mississippi Valley, and the deep south. At least some of that is coming our way, but in a much weaker and lighter fashion. Up to 70 today, a couple of spotty showers around this morning and this afternoon. Gusty northeast wind. Occasional showers tonight will bottom out at around 55. Tomorrow, partly sunny. Smaller chance for a stray rain shower both morning and afternoon. Highs near 70 and a north-northwesterly wind. Down to 52 tomorrow night. Partly sunny and 72 the outlook on Thursday. That pattern shift that we've talked about, at least into a warmer and drier setup, begins later this week at 77 on Friday into the low and mid-80s Saturday. June 1st on Sunday. It'll feel that way at 85 and low to mid-80s covering much of the area for much of the next week. We remain rain-free Monday and Tuesday as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes. or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report. Stock futures are higher after President Trump delayed tariffs on European Union imports until July 9th. There's a merger in the mining business. Harmony Gold is buying New York-listed Mac Cooper in a deal worth more than $3 billion. Mac Cooper owns a copper mine in Australia. Auto parts seller AutoZone shares are down more than 0.5%, though it is reporting sales up more than 5% in the recent quarter. The company says it is well prepared for its summer selling season. Coffee company Nespresso is changing up its message to appeal to younger coffee drinkers who want their drinks cold. The Wall Street Journal says Nespresso had been appealing to middle-aged sophistication with George Clooney. Its newest spokesperson is millennial pop star The Weeknd. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
Kudlow on Fox Business is now on the go for podcast fans. Download the Kudlow Show podcast every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com. Kudlow covers the latest headlines and business trends with an emphasis on the financial impact facing households and businesses across the country. Listen to interviews with key business newsmakers. The Kudlow podcast will be available on the go after the show every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
I read where Katie needed to sell her home because she was moving out of state. She got hold of Nate Evans and the Nate Evans Group to learn more about her options. Leaving state, what do? I got to go. Nate and his team went right to work. They used their strategic marketing plans. They attracted a lot of buyers. They were able to sell Katie's home very, very quickly.
Talk about your timeline with Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. Do you need that immediate cash offer on your home? There's flexible fees. You can sell your home for the most money possible. If you want to know in less than a minute without even talking to an agent what your home value is worth in today's market, go to Nate Evans Group and click on that Get Home Value. A friend you can trust to get the process started. Very familiar with our area and has some insight on some homes that are coming soon. All you need to do is call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans, 217-239-7113, or do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus. Barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstott, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Sometimes you do things and you regret them.
Really?
Nancy Pelosi has to feel guilty about what she did to Joe Biden. Now, he wasn't able to be president, but they knew that before. They did an early debate to kind of prove to the world and everybody to get rid of him easier. But she spearheaded. She said, look, we had to win. We had to win. Well, you knew much earlier than that, he wasn't going to be able to do it. That's crazy. So why not put Nancy Pelosi on TV and say that Joe Biden needs to be on Mount Rushmore?
Good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next.
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there.
Well, you dissing Teddy? Huh? Brother Johnny thinks
He
Teddy...
didn't answer the question. She pivots to Teddy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got Teddy
Well,
up there.
Johnny thinks Teddy got up there because he knew the guy.
Right.
Borglum.
And he was a Parks kind of guy.
Well, he was a Parks guy, but Borglum, the guy that did the mountain, was his buddy.
Right.
So, criminy, you have a good shot getting up there if your buddy's doing the
Okay,
mountain.
how about if it's you, Teddy, and then the other guys?
Yeah, that's it.
Essentially.
So I'll see your Joe Biden on Mount Rushmore, and I'll raise you Newt Gingrich top 5 presidents, huh?
Look, there's no question in my mind that he is one of the 5 great change presidents in American history. Jefferson, Jackson, Lincoln, Franklin Roosevelt, and now, 90 years after Roosevelt created what has been the central governing system for the last 9 decades, you finally have a president with the courage, the intelligence, the energy, the drive to really profoundly change things. And I think we're also learning, of course, that there's so much that went wrong in the last administration. It is so extraordinarily corrupt, probably the largest scandal in American history. And we need to get things to work to make America successful again.
All right, Newt Gingrich suggesting top 5 change presidents. You got to think about that because there's a lot of change now. He didn't say greatest, but he did couple them with the greatest. Lincoln, Jefferson. I mean, those are Declaration of Independence, Emancipation Proclamation. There's a lot there. But as far as change, and he's changed the completely foreign policies out the window. You know, he talked about in front of everybody over there. He said, for years America's gone and gotten into these wars and judged you on them, wanted you to be like us, and America first is the whole plan. In any event, so you've got a president now that's moving extraordinarily fast, but we might have a Vladimir Putin problem. Over the weekend, he went nuts and hit Kiev. Hit him hard with a bunch of drones, and President Trump is unhappy, and I don't know what you do with that.
That's why it's vital.
You can hit sanctions and all these other things if you want Russia, but I don't know what's happening to Vladimir Putin. Who they thought was kind of in on. I think he just wants to take Ukraine. So we'll see what the president does in a very tough situation.
Yeah, you're right. This headline says Russia hits Ukraine with the largest drone and missile attack of the war so far.
Yeah. So there's a lot of tough stuff. There's more trade deals in the air, so the markets look like they're going to zoom up today. If you are into the market heavily, then you'll probably be happy, at least at the open. That's what it looks like from here.
Was there a prisoner swap then?
Ukraine and Russia traded like 1,000 people, and then the drone started again.
Oh, no.
They probably reclaimed, Russia probably got their drone guy back. I don't know.
Huh.
Anyway, it's tough. You've got a lot of vitriol there, obviously, on both sides. But was it at 5,000 people are dying a week? What a waste. What a shame. Okay, the news coming up. 217-359-2255. Have some more clips I want to get to here today. But Texas coming up with a law that will ban minors from smartphones. How do you feel about that? I love it. I am so loving that. I know it'll be hard. If you got a 16-year-old, it's going to be tough.
Right.
And
to me, you can't do it.
Well,
even when we were talking about it 10 years ago, I didn't think we could do it.
How would you enforce it?
Right.
I think you would probably have to fine the parents. You shouldn't take anybody to jail on it, but you ought to be able to, penalize them financially. But there's going to be bootlegging on this one.
We did get a text in to 217-359-2255 saying, Steve, I read an article about Scott Pelley, 60-Minute reporter, gave a commencement speech at a college, really ripping Trump.
Ripped Trump, yeah.
And do you think that's proper commencement speech? Thanks, Rick.
No, I don't. I really don't. President Trump spoke at West Point, and they love that. Mm-hmm. And he spoke actually at my son-in-law's. He did commencement when Jacob went through. And, of course, there was COVID, so nobody was there.
Yeah.
But he stood and saluted every single cadet in 90-degree weather. Okay, we're going to be right back. The news is next, and then a lot more. Stand by, 7:30. The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air. They all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, disease, and insect control. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. From the Dobbs decision leak to cocaine in the White House, the FBI announcing they plan to reopen several investigations from the Biden administration.
FBI Deputy Director made this announcement on X. There are 3 cases that he says the agency is looking into. The D.C. pipe bombing investigation, the cocaine discovery at the Biden administration's White House, and the leak of the Supreme Court Dobbs case.
Fox's Madeline Rivera, it's not clear when the FBI will have an update on those investigations. Louisiana officials say 3 more escaped inmates have been captured.
Police say Lenton Van Buren was found in Baton Rouge sitting on a bench near a department store after someone called in an anonymous tip. The other 2, Jermaine Donald and Leo Tate, were captured in Walker County, Texas, more than 300 miles from the jail they escaped from.
Fox's Todd Pyro, 2 inmates remain on the run. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, Health Alliance ending its Medicare Advantage plans at the end of the year. News comes several months after Carle Health announcing the Illinois-based insurance company ending all other plans by next year. However, after a comprehensive strategic and financial analysis, the company said Medicare Advantage plans would be ending as well this year. Illinois Department of Natural Resources monitoring black bear sightings in southwestern part of the state. Bear first spotted last Monday in St. Clair County. The animal observed again last Wednesday and Thursday. The bear has had no interaction with humans, but has damaged some beehives. State and local officials celebrating a major construction milestone at University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. The event held for Phase 3 of the Illini Hall replacement and Old Guild Hall renovation project. Phase 3 involves constructing a new academic facility that will replace the former Illini Hall. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, I'm going to say Monday all day, but it is Tuesday because of the 3-day weekend. Hope you're well. Had a good weekend, I trust. Weather brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Your premier provider for home improvements, specializing in siding, windows, doors, roofing, and there's some 25% off deals too. Check it out, kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Gorgeous day's worth of weather yesterday for the holiday, and a decent amount of it over the past weekend as well. Next weather system, week 1, moving its way out of the plains. It's the northern extent of some of those storms and showers that have brought flooding, rain, and severe weather from Oklahoma and Texas on eastward. That'll stay well down to the south and southeast in the coming days. Up near 70 today with a mostly cloudy sky, a little filtered sun around as well, and a couple of spotty sprinkly showers this morning and perhaps this afternoon as well. Occasional showers tonight, lows down to 55. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow, near 70 with a smaller rain chance both morning and afternoon. That north-northwesterly wind continues on as well. Well, about tomorrow night at 52, partly sunny and 72. The outlook for the day on Thursday. Warm up begins Friday into the weekend and into next week as well as we welcome in meteorological summertime in June 1st. Partly cloudy, 77 on Friday. Sunshine for the weekend. 81 Saturday. A Sunday high on June 1st of 85. Low to mid-80s next Monday and Tuesday. For Steve J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to thenateevansgroup.com.
Time is running out to get your tickets to the Action Auction supporting literacy in our community with books from Breck as we honor Josh and Hope Whitman at the Champaign Rotaries event coming May 30th at the iHotel. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. Amazing trip experiences and unique opportunities for the Illini fan to bid on. Go to our website now and find out more details at champaignrotary.info.
Yeah, that'll be fun Friday night, Champaign Rotary.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody want to bet on the Josh Whitman takes you in a jet down to Augusta to see the Masters for the day?
Man.
Oh, man. 2 people. How about a weekend with the Underwoods and maybe the Whitmans in Napa Valley wine tasting?
That sounds awesome,
yeah.
too. I just went to champaignrotary.info to see if I could see some of these auction items, and there's a few messages on here. Is it Dave Remzon?
Yeah, Resveen. He's from Urbana. He's an anchor for Big Ten Network. Been around a long time. Very good.
MC?
Yeah, he'll be the MC. You can sit at his table for $3,500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, pretty cool. Action Auction. You can go to Rotary in Champaign. The
champaignrotary.info for
check
details.
out some of the stuff. All right, so it was Memorial Day weekend. We were in the CrossFit gym. I went at 7 a.m. and did the Murph. Murph has gotten a lot of attention because it's for Michael Murphy, who died on a hill in Afghanistan on a reconnaissance mission. And they captured an old guy and a child, and they just couldn't kill the child, and the kid went down and told everybody they were there, and they surrounded him. Everybody died but one. I think Marcus Luttrell, was he the survivor there? Anyway, I think so. Anyway, so the Murph is 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and another mile run. So I went with Christian. We started the same time, but as we turned the corner on the first mile, didn't see him again.
I see.
Didn't see him again.
Bye. Bye, Dad.
Anyway, it was very, very hard and tiring. I have to scale to get all that done. In other words, I can't quite do the RX, is it called. I need bands, like rubber bands.
Oh, yeah.
Do my pull-ups. I need knee push-ups.
Well, it's good that you can modify it.
Yeah, you can modify it. Anyway, I got done. And you know what? The next 2 hours, 50 people came in because anybody could come.
Mm-hmm.
50 people could come, and a number of them had never done CrossFit. So one young lady said, I'll never come back. My friend dragged me. I said, this isn't normal.
Right.
She said, it's not? No, you don't have to work out for 35 to 1 hour like this. It's normally a 12-minute workout. It is? Yeah, it's different. This is the worst day you could come.
It says for the RX it's 1 mile, 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats. No way.
You just have to.
And then a 1 mile run after that.
3 years
there's
ago.
There's an intermediate and a beginner style.
Well, there's plenty of things to do to scale it so you can actually do it. First time I did it, I leaned against like a bookcase and that's why I did push-ups.
Right.
Then the rings, you can do that for your pull-ups. So there's ways to do it. First year I did one air squat, I pulled a hamstring. Hadn't done one in 40 years.
Right.
So it just takes time, but man, oh man, to finish that thing was very satisfying, and just a salute to the people that died in action, and CrossFit does that. I think a number of times each year. There's another couple of soldiers I know that we've honored in the past. In any event, hope you had a good 3-day weekend. At least thought about those that protect us, because I've been of the philosophy that if we did not have a soldier, we would not have this. Because they'll never. Yeah, they will. They'll take your stuff if you can't defend it.
Absolutely.
You never want to drop a bomb on anybody. I've been to Nagasaki, and I've been to the museum in Japan, and it's just the only thing you get leaving there is just sadness. And never ever do that again, and pray you never have to fight like that ever, because the Japanese would not surrender in World War II. They were talking about going door to door in Tokyo, and the estimate was we'll lose 1 million American soldiers if we had to go door to door in Tokyo. So President Truman said Hiroshima, then Nagasaki. There's another one planned the next week. They were going to drop another atomic bomb on Japan. And finally they said we quit. But Japan would not surrender. And so we're losing steam, losing funding, losing everything. America had a problem late then because people were tired. We got Japan. I mean, that's all we had left. We had defeated Germany. Hitler was dead. I mean, all that was all, but couldn't get Japan to stop. And so it's that's why you want to lift weights and get big muscles so nobody on the beach picks on you. Just to be able to defend yourself. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to. Donald Trump talked about that too over the weekend. You never want to do it, but you want to be able to just dominate if you do.
Right.
Because then they're going to be hesitant that, we can't do that,
Well, I provided the sound system in Savoy for their military salute, and that military memorial was very moving, and I was so happy to hear the keynote speaker talk about, where we are today, as you're saying. And Jason Moore stood up, and we had him on the radio. He's a Navy CB and was out at Grandview Cemetery. And I said, Jason, I hope you had a hand in putting some of these flags out. He said 2,070 graveside flags were put out on Saturday morning, and a few people did step up and assist. The AMVETS, awesome. American Legion, and VFW. And then over 200 Avenue full-size flags at 6 a.m. that Monday morning, yesterday. Just a gentle breeze, having them fly during the service. And one of the things that I touched on before I went on into the next thing was mental health in our military and how we can do something about it. Just as, regular citizens, not only thanking our veterans, but show concern and reach out to them and say, if you're struggling for something, I'm here for you. I want to take you out for a cup of coffee or something. Those human connections that we have with our military.
I would want to treat them better than I think we have. Mm-hmm. And I know we've had struggles with the VA and everything else, but boy, those folks who come back after defending, and some of them
struggling with grief,
all kinds of. They might not have legs, and then they have PTSD on top of
for sure.
Brutal. So we've got to. I would want to coddle them and take care of them just as best we possibly can. Mm-hmm. And I know it's a big job. Okay, Stephen A. Smith, is he going to be a politician? Stephen A. is a sports guy, but he's getting political and talking a lot about it.
FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. The report says most of the informants engaged in illegal activity during the chaos. The Justice Department says only 3 of its 26 informants present had been instructed to observe potential domestic terrorist suspects on the day of the riot. The rest of the 23 appeared to have gone to the Capitol on their own accord. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted the following on X, quote, "For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago," end quote. Didn't hear anything about that for the election. Didn't hear anything about that when the quote-unquote insurrection was broached. I'm really, really sick and tired of every time I turn around finding something else that the Democrats have lied about or downplayed or misrepresented along the way. I mean, I see Republicans like Megyn Kelly or Officer Tatum or Candace Owens or, the Sean Hannitys of the world. You know what I'm getting tired of? I'm getting to the Democratic Party. You know what I'm getting really pissed off about? I'm getting really ticked off at every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right.
That's right. That's correct. Seems to always come back and say, oh my gosh, there were FBI guys at January 6th and they were instigating. Really? I wonder if Ed Martin will be part of that. I wonder if the one in charge of weaponizing our government against the people, Charlie Kirk, put out a text, said, well, you're not going to have Ed Martin as the U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C., but apparently he's got a special Department of Justice job looking at weaponizing our government. Better watch what you wish for. Because will Ed look at January 6th? Will he actually? I'd love to know. There's just a lot you want to know.
Well, when you do a search on Stephen A. Smith, distrust of the media is one of the number one searches.
Well, it's how do they get there? How does Jake Tapper ever recover as a newsman? Did he ever did he ever have credibility?
I don't know.
Jake Tapper was, totally guarding, protecting President Biden. And then he writes a book. What they did is they got this Alex Thompson from Axios who wrote the book. And then they said, this isn't going to sell. Jake Tapper. Yeah, everybody knows Jake Tapper. So they got Jake in on the deal. I don't know if he wrote much about it. But now he's out there, oh, yeah, you're right. I've already apologized to Laura Trump when I really pounded her for saying, you're not a doctor. How can you tell about cognitive decline? I've already called her, and I should have done a better job. Buy my book. Buy my book.
Right.
Buy my book. And then you got the mayor of Chicago.
Oh, boy.
I saw a clip yesterday of him saluting Africa Day. What about our soldiers? That was Memorial Day yesterday. How about that?
Right.
Gosh, where's Lori Lightfoot?
You know, as far as, the president's animus towards women, people of color, working people, we have always known who he has been. And this is not a surprise. He's a monster.
He's a monster. Trump's a monster. That's your mayor of Chicago.
He's 49.
Well, I can't imagine. And Rahm Emanuel, do we need to take a serious look at Rahm Emanuel? What's your perception of Rahm Emanuel? Boy, I mean, talk about career politician. I mean, has his hands in a lot. But now he looks like he's a little right. He might be too far right. He's a liberal. And he's saying this whole Democratic Party's messed up. Way too woke. We can't do that. Would Rahm Emanuel be a candidate for president in 2028? This is 2025. Let's note that Ed Martin, our friend who's on tomorrow from the Department of Justice now, says, look out for Rahm Emanuel.
65 years old.
Yeah, just a baby.
Okay.
In this game?
Born in Chicago.
Remember when Ronald Reagan was the oldest president elected at 68? And everyone said, yikes. 65 is like middle age, man.
True.
Anyway, watch out for Rahm Emanuel.
That search says Pelosi thinks Rahm Emanuel will run for president.
Well, he'll sound right-wing.
Another teasing White House bid. So, yeah, it's out there.
No, there's a lot out there that we'll just have to see how it unfolds. But Rahm Emanuel was a operative for what? The Clintons, the Obamas?
It says Obama's ex-chief of staff.
He was chief of staff, but he was... I remember Barack Obama talking about the fact that for whatever reason, Rahm Emanuel has one of his middle fingers like cut off, like at the knuckle. And he said he lost his finger, leaving him essentially mute. That's what Barack Obama had said at his speech.
Okay.
But Rahm Emanuel's a former mayor of Chicago. I think he's got bigger fish to fry. I don't think he'll run for mayor of Chicago, which is the rumor as well. So we will see. All right, going to check your weather. It's Tuesday. We remembered. Dr. Todd will be coming up.
Right.
Weather brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. They offer cost-efficient solutions for busy offices. If you want a free evaluation, you could save some money. Some of that color printing can be nutty. Check with Watts Copy System, locally owned and operated, 217-352-0428. And don't forget Busey for over 155 years. Busey, member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Hopefully enjoy that long holiday weekend. Caught a break of the rainfall. That was nice to enjoy. But a piece of that weather system that's impacting big rain and big severe weather outbreaks on the southern plains, lower Mississippi Valley, and the deep south. At least some of that is coming our way, but in a much weaker and lighter fashion. Up to 70 today. A couple of spotty showers around this morning and this afternoon. Gusty northeast wind. Occasional showers tonight. We'll bottom out at around 55. Tomorrow, partly sunny. Smaller chance for a stray rain shower both morning and afternoon. Highs near 70 and a north-northwesterly wind. Down to 52 tomorrow night. Partly sunny and 72 the outlook on Thursday. That pattern shift that we've talked about, at least into a warmer and drier setup, begins later this week at 77 on Friday. Into the low and mid-80s Saturday. June 1st on Sunday. It'll feel that way at 85 and low to mid-80s covering much of the area for much of the next week. We remain rain-free Monday and Tuesday as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over.
The world is full of famous piles. Stonehenge, a majestic pile of rocks. The Great Pyramids, the Great Wall of China, a truly impressive pile of bricks. And then there's your pile, maybe not so famous. 2 Men in a Junk Truck can remove those not so famous piles of stuff you've collected. 2 Men in a Junk Truck, proudly part of the 2 Men in a Truck family, making space for what matters most. Schedule your pickup at 2meninatrucktruck.com. Use code RADIO25 to save $25 on your next junk removal service.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's BERGtanksinc.com.
Invest in yourself with free rewards checking from Fisher National Bank. Instead of losing a little each month in fees, wouldn't it be nice to earn on your money? Switch to Fisher National. They offer excellent annual percentage yields with no minimum balance or service fees. As you make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit a month. It's as easy as that to maximize on your money with a bank ready to invest in you. Learn more at FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC.
Always a pleasure to talk to Dr. Todd Likens, Pet Pro, Madison, Kirby, and Champaign. Sir, how are you? You have a good weekend?
Yeah, we had a good weekend. The doggies are chomping at the bit to get back to work, though. So
Yeah.
I guess I got to take them.
Do they still have their little doggy alarms go off on Mondays when you're off?
Yes, they do. That's the frustrating part. They don't believe in holidays.
Right.
It's lovely when it's light out, but I think puppies get out at daylight, don't they?
Yeah, it's more daylight. I find they do sleep a little later when the days are shorter.
Yeah.
But yeah, that daylight creeps in. This is the time of year where they're getting up pretty early.
Do they instigate? Is there an instigator? Do you have a dog that says, "Okay, let's go, let's get up, let's move it"?
No, I think I think it's different dogs. I don't know if I could pin down a leader dog on that.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
but they all seem to want to join in. They like the idea.
Got a reminder from your office in the mail about all the things that I need to get done with the doggies. What's common right now?
Oh, today I'm expecting a little post-holiday picnic-itis type things like diarrheas and things, but nothing pretty calm disease-wise in the doggy world.
But
as far as I know.
shots and things updated.
Oh.
What's everybody doing right now?
Well, the most common one always is the rabies because that's the only one required by law.
Okay.
And then you got your core vaccines, your distempers and your parvos, and bordetellus for respiratory disease. The kennels are requiring certain vaccines like the flu vaccine. So, if you're going to the kennel, then the flu vaccine becomes important. If you're, if you got exposure in dog parks and things, you want to make sure your parvos are up to date.
Yeah, because you go out to anything where you socialize, you can catch stuff, right? Yeah, the doggies can catch stuff.
It's like dog parks equal daycares, which equals spread of disease.
Yeah.
So that's where all that stuff comes from.
You mentioned coming out of picnic mode. I was at a gathering where a snatched chicken wing bone got off somebody's plate by the doggy. And, you could tell. I mean, they were right at my side. And I said, I think they know I'm kind of accident prone and they're the cleanup crew ready to go.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
it turned out okay that they did. Everybody hollered at the dog when they saw it running away, and it did drop the bone because it was kind of freaked out about, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, but boy, I'm surprised it dropped the bone if it was chicken.
I know.
Hey, so at your house, do you guys drop food, Todd?
Does it happen accidentally and on purpose? Yes.
Because, but I'm just thinking when the dogs are looking at you they're totally saying drop, 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 drop. And I say I tend to drop more.
Yeah, they like mealtime. That's definitely one of the favorites. So we go in the human cage when we eat dinner.
Yeah,
as we call it.
and so when some of my granddogs come over, it's just embarrassing because they'll come to me like, you're busting me, man.
That's right.
What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I probably would too, Stevie.
Yeah, that's right. I'd probably feed you, Dr. Todd. So, all right. So how come people connect, get a doggy bath for $40 or whatever?
Yeah,
that
let's
is?
push off all that picnic stuff. We can get a bath. I think $30 bath meal, so it's still a good deal there. And just give us a text 217-355-5051.
All right, my
Taylor's
friend.
been on the duty.
Yeah, well,
Very
good for
good.
her. You're going to say Monday all day, I bet. I am. Man.
She's probably running 30 texts behind all day today, you might guess.
Well, you got business. All right. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
All right. See you guys.
Dr. Todd Likens, the pet pro veterinarian, Madison, Kirby, and Champaign.
We didn't mention the Indy 500, Alex Palou, the winner,
Yeah.
and that was pretty cool to see him drinking the milk.
Yep.
But I think it was Kyle Larson that had an accident in Indy 500 and was going to the Coca-Cola 600.
Right.
Had another accident.
Darn.
So,
Two cars, man. Well, who's the guy warming up his tires in the first lap and hit the
Right.
wall? Ouch.
I know.
And how do these pit guys, if you're a pit guy, the back left tire guy is just important as the driver.
You're right.
If you don't tighten that thing, it's over.
Uh-huh.
And you got to, how do they do it? What do they do it in 10 seconds?
Yeah.
And Formula One guys do
It's less. Scott McLaughlin is the one that crashed during warm-up laps.
Oh,
It just looks so heartbreaking to see him out there.
Oh.
But, yeah, you definitely have to warm up those
What the
tires.
Formula One guys, I think, do pits in 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, I
How do you
think
do
10
that?
seconds is long.
Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. How can you change 4 tires and load it with gas? I can't believe that. And it's all about, how far can you get, and you got to do a pit and all these other things.
It says the average pit stop 4-tire change 2 to 2.5 seconds in Formula One.
That's unreal.
Wow.
That is really unreal.
There's a record of 1.8 second pit stop with NASCAR, with McLaren.
NPR says it's suing President Trump over his executive order that aimed to end its federal funding, saying it violated the First Amendment.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. Why would we fund NPR? I mean, why would we fund Canada?
Right.
I mean, nobody's ever looked under the hood to this extent. But when you have departments, and we're giving $200 billion to Canada, $200 billion to Canada every year. And what is that? What's that for again? Can I ask that?
Well, and with them getting federal funding, what about the corporate sponsorship, member station fees, donations from foundations and individuals that you hear about?
Part of a tax deduction. I presume if you get to NPR, you probably can't you write that off if it's a nonprofit? I don't know. I just know that they're out there competing. They certainly hire people away from commercial radio.
Right.
And they pay better.
I know.
And the Voice of America got jolted when they're 1,000 employees.
Wow.
1,000 employees.
What are 1,000 people doing in
of America?
NPR? Wow.
It
says they typically receive 1% of its funding directly from the federal government.
They can make that up. They can do that with contributions. I thought it was 18%.
Huh. Well, that's a search from the beginning of the month.
I thought that NPR but 18%, 80% come elsewhere. I mean, you can do that. Mm-hmm. Just tell them the big bad wolf is taking our money, and they'll donate. Just go to liberals. They'll do it. Give the money.
We're barking up the wrong tree, Stevie.
What are we
Maybe you
doing?
should change your tune here.
I used to do all the fundraisers. I worked with Channel 12.
Oh, I know that.
All that stuff, and then they hired somebody away for double the money. I'm going, what am I doing? I'm helping them raise money so they take my people. That seemed counterintuitive to me. I said, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Darn it.
All right, news coming up. You're welcome to text us. Get to some of those. 217-359-2255. That would be the Fisher National Bank text line. It is Tuesday, May 27, all day long. The news next.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Will the U.S. hit Russia with new sanctions? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Wall Street Journal reports President Trump could take action this week after calling Russian leader Vladimir Putin crazy over the weekend following a barrage of deadly attacks on Ukraine. And Russia has taken control of 4 more border villages while dismissing the Trump criticism.
We heard from a spokesperson from the Kremlin who says this is a very crucial moment, which is associated, of course, with the emotional overload of everyone, absolutely, and with emotional reactions. Now, the White House has said all options are on the table when it comes to getting peace, but it wants to see this war end as soon as possible.
Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House, where President Trump has pardoned a former sheriff.
Scott Jenkins was convicted of taking bribes in exchange for appointing businessmen as auxiliary sheriff's deputies. The former Culpeper County, Virginia sheriff was set to serve 10 years in prison, but President Trump says instead he will live a productive life. The president alleges Jenkins suffered from a weaponized justice system and was limited in the evidence he could present in court by a judge appointed by President Biden.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz, a former police chief turned convicted rapist and murderer, is on the run for a third day in Arkansas, where Grant Hardin broke out of prison Sunday. While the manhunt for escapees who broke out of a Louisiana jail a week and a half ago is down to 2.
3 of the escaped inmates were captured last night. None of them were here in the city of New Orleans. Baton Rouge police arrested accused murderer Lenton Van Buren. A concerned citizen called police after spotting him on a bench. Meanwhile, Texas DPS arrested fugitives Jermaine Donald and Leo Tate in Walker County, Texas, after a high-speed chase north of Houston.
Fox's Nate Foy, 13 people have been arrested accused of either helping the 10 inmates break out or helping them on the run. In Philadelphia, police still searching for the gunman who shot up a crowd of people last night, killing 2, injuring 9. On Wall Street, a big stock market surge is brewing with rising futures. America's listening to Fox News.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Police in Britain are calling an attack during a celebration yesterday isolated and not terrorism. They have in custody the man accused of driving a car into a crowd of soccer fans celebrating Liverpool's Premier League championship. 27 people remain hospitalized. There is a case of terrorism in Germany in court.
The suspect is charged with 3 counts of murder, 10 of attempted murder, and with being a member of ISIS. As the trial began, his lawyers read out a statement. "I have brought severe guilt upon myself. I killed innocent people, not infidels." The knife attack took place last August at a festival of diversity in the city of Solingen, one of several deadly incidents in the months leading up to Germany's national election earlier this year. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Sean Diddy Combs will soon return to federal court in New York City. His sex trafficking trial is about to resume.
Testimony last week took a turn with explosive testimony from
from Kid Cudi. The rapper told court he briefly dated Diddy's ex, Cassie Ventura, in 2011 and claims Diddy broke into his house, locked his dog in the bathroom, and weeks later, his Porsche was firebombed. Cudi called Diddy a Marvel supervillain in one confrontation and said the drama got so bad he walked away from Ventura entirely. Other witnesses allege physical abuse and secret hotel aliases. The jury is expected to hear more testimony from Diddy's former employee and the LA police and fire departments. The trial is expected to wrap by July 4th. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Billie Eilish won big at the fan-voted American Music Awards. She took home 7 in every category she was nominated in, including Artist of the Year, Song of the Year.
Thank you to the AMAs. Thank you to the fans. I know you voted for this. This means the world to me.
That's on CBS through Dick Clark Productions. Kendrick Lamar had the most nominations going into the night with 10, but got just 1 American Music Award. Taylor Swift got 0 despite being nominated for 6 awards. Rod Stewart was given a Lifetime Achievement Award. Janet Jackson the Icon Award. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois Department of Natural Resources monitoring black bear sightings in southwestern Illinois. Bear first spotted last Monday in St. Clair County. Animal observed again Wednesday and Thursday last week in the same county. Bear has had no interaction with humans, but has damaged some beehives on private property. Watch out for those bears. Pittsfield High School mourning after 2 students killed in a 2-car crash in Morgan County. Officials confirming that senior Jesse Davidsmeyer and junior Joel Noble died and followed an accident Saturday at the intersection of Highway 67 and Woodson-Winchester Road in Woodson. Counseling and additional resources are available. A teen charged after a 4-year-old shot in Champaign. Police say a young child found with a gunshot wound to the foot Saturday at an apartment in the 2400 block of North Neal Street. Child sent to the hospital in stable condition. The teen arrested. Additional charges including reckless discharge of a firearm. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All righty. It is Tuesday, May 27. I am Stevie J. That is Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
And this is Greg Solier. You have a good weekend, friend?
Yellow.
Yep. Would you hang out? Did anybody do any? What about, was it Christopher that's the chef? Did he make you anything?
No, I cooked, actually. I cooked yesterday. So, but I tell you what, he gets together with his buds.
Yeah.
And they get the food. They put the order in. And he cooks. So
gotcha.
He's
Pretty good. Well, how about a little something?
Chef in the house.
How about a little something for the effort? How about you and Christine? Come on, man.
Well, both barbecue pits got the charcoal one and the Little Smoky Joe and the gas one. They are lined up and ready to go as well. So,
nice.
I mean, hey, this guy's, he's working. He's going back to school as well to get his. He wants to become an accountant, a CPA.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's got 3 classes, and he's working this summer. I let him know that, I was working a million years ago and just took 2 classes, one of which I already took because it didn't transfer from community college. I got it, Dad. We're okay. We got it. Thanks, Dad. So, it got to be an octave or 2 lower. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, okay. No, that's right. That's right. No, that's good, man. Your kids are hardworking. We know that.
They are. They are. We're proud of them.
Just like your dad. Our weather
there
this morning.
There you go.
Brought to you by...
Just like that Cacciatorian crowd and Ducey crowd.
Right, thank you.
Weather brought to you by Kurt Lenschow. He's at State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. Kurt and State Farm are there. All right, sir. What are you looking at for the remainder of this week?
I bet Kurt's a hard worker, too.
Yes, he is. I know that.
Everyone in this listening audience, too. So, in any event, kind of little sprinkly and dripply out there this morning. But this, too, shall pass. We're seeing the signs of a little more typical late spring, early summer setup around here. It's the start of a transition. Month of June will be a transition month here to maybe some lesser rain as we get deeper into the month. Not that's going to completely stop. And some building warmth as well across the area. We'll keep an eye on July in August. Spot at the door this morning, 60 at Willard and Savoy. A few sprinkles running from north and west of Danville to the better part of Champaign County and west from there to about the Illinois. So a little sprinkle, a brief light shower around this morning. A fair amount of cloudiness for the day-to-day. Afternoon temperatures expected to top out at around 70. Should be mid-70s this time of the year. We'll get there. 55 and a couple of showers around tonight. And lesser rain chances tomorrow, partly sunny near 70 on a north-northwesterly wind. We're dry with sun and clouds and 72 on Thursday. Then Friday, partly cloudy, 77. You're granted the extended lunch hour there already. Weekend highs, early summer-like, early low and mid-80s for that matter. More like early June, as it ought to be for June 1st on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, warm, dry with daytime temperatures in the middle 80s. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
They're going to investigate, but my question would be if Joe Biden pardoned 2,700 people and the auto pin did it and he wasn't even briefed, should it count? And are the people that got pardons panicking?
Right.
Because you really think he decided on 2,700 people?
Right.
Anyway, they just went nutty at the end. And then what about the $93 billion handed out from the Energy Department in the waning days? They just handed that out. Where'd it go? Not sure. $93 billion. And was that auto pin? And if the president was incapacitated, should any of that count? If an auto pin does it and he wasn't really in on the decision, should it count? It's just a simple question.
Okay.
Mike Small's golf team did not perform to what he expected.
Right.
I believe he called it a meltdown. So he said, just because we were 18th here in the national championship tournament of 30 teams and 12th ranked in the nation is not good enough. We're not satisfied. We're disappointed. And the kid, Ryan Voice?
Yes.
Who won here? Didn't he win? Or
Right. And, you know, Jackson Buchanan had a great season. Max Herendeen, they all three got Ping All Midwest Region Team Awards, along with other accolades as they went along in the season.
They had 5 golfers that played at the same time. 4 scores count. Ryan Voice, who was at the top of our leaderboard, I think he was in the top 5 overall, but number 1 Illini, he didn't even count. They couldn't even count his score. He had 78. So for those guys, that's a tall number.
Yeah.
I just thought, and Mike always, you know, when the tournament, you have high scores, you always say, well, how'd the other guys do? And most did poorly. The other teams did not knock it out of the park. They played better in Illinois, I guess, but there were a couple teams that went under par, and it's 7,500 yards. Again, super long. I would guess it had to have been windy or something weather-wise, because after the first round, Fight and Illini were -2. 2 under. Okay, that's a good start. They were like +9, and then they were like +10. I mean, it was overall 17 under or 17 over par, which again, very uncharacteristic for a Mike Small team. It happens. They're going to take a long look at what happened. They only had 1 graduate. Jackson Buchanan's the only guy leaving. So don't think they won't learn from this, and don't think they won't get better from this, because they went through some real grinding and some real adversity that they're not used to.
Yes.
But look at the level. Again, I understand, unhappy, meltdown, surprised. You're playing in the national championship again. You didn't make the final cut of 15. The 4th round is the cut of 15. Then they go match play with the top 10 teams. And usually you expect, well, Illinois is going to be in it. You know, that's just how good we are. And so to finish 18th or 17th or whatever it was, and to be ranked 12th, you're going, yeah, what?
Right.
Herbert, does that happen very often? We get so spoiled, but they're so good, and they'll be back. Mike will do what he has to do to tweak the team to, I don't know how, that's the real rub.
Right.
How does a kid react when it goes south?
And how is the chemistry and all that?
Obviously won some tournaments, and ranked 12th, the number 1 cold weather school in the world is Illinois, with an amazing immersion center, great facility.
This headline says, the story, Illinois men's golf season has ended after 3 rounds of team competition in the NCAA championship. The Illini missed the cut heading into round 4 of stroke play, finishing 18th with the top 15 teams advancing. Sophomore golfer Max Herendeen will continue as an individual, qualifying with a +1 performance through 3 rounds.
Well, good for Max. So he could still win the national championship.
2024 Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see.
And then Illinois has advanced to the NCAA championship 31 times in program history.
Enjoy. This will not happen again. I'm sorry. It just won't. When Mike Small retires, and he will retire someday, I've encouraged him to go 30 more. but then he'll be 90. So
now I'm seeing that total meltdown comment.
Yeah, I mean,
that happens.
But he's not gonna say, "Hey, we're a good ball club." I mean, he doesn't do that. If you play for Mike Small, you perform, or you don't play.
And sometimes you feel even worse when your coach just walks out because he's so frustrated.
Well, I mean, it's just he doesn't. She's never sugarcoated anything. He takes these kids, and they either do the thing or they don't do the thing. They don't play. You don't encourage them and keep going. You get another guy. That's just kind of what golf is. You can't stick with the guy that's just not doing it. All right, that's just hard lessons of golf. But again, a magnificent program that maybe it's next year. Remember when Virginia lost to the number 16 seed, and the next year they won the national championship? I'd like to see Mike win one. He deserves it. The team and program deserve it. But there's a lot of things that have to go your way. You got to get some breaks. And if some balls go in that maybe shouldn't, that kind of stuff to win that. It's just hard. The margin of it's just so little. One bad shot can throw off a national championship team. Crazy. All right, quarter after, sports headlines.
Well, since we're on the topic of Illini athletes, Terrence Shannon Jr. with 15 points, a couple of rebounds, an assist and a steal in Game 3 for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
That was on Friday.
Right.
And then they lost, and Terrence did not play yesterday.
What's up with the feast or famine?
Because they got a guy from the Knicks that took his spot after they drafted him. So there's that spot that's not available, so did not play. Happens a lot for Terrence. Could it be trade bait? Could they trade him since they got the guy from the Knicks? Maybe they don't need him anymore. And there's a lot of NBA teams that like that energy. And every time Terrence comes in, it seems like he does good things. He'll play 3 minutes and get 3 points, 2 rebounds. What? 3 minutes? It's crazy how effective he is when he's in. So he brings a lot, and he can play in the NBA, man. If you watch him at all, he's ready. So we'll see what happens to Terrence Shannon. Might not be in Minnesota, but it could be somewhere else.
Oklahoma City did beat Minnesota's Timberwolves 128-126 yesterday. Thunder lead that series 3-1. The Pacers were beat by the Knicks yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. Memorial Day holiday.
It was on Sunday.
Okay.
It was Sunday night after the Indy 500. Folks in Indiana went to the game.
That's right.
How could you possibly do both?
We talked about how insane the crowd was with our gal from visitindy.com.
Yeah.
And Pacers still lead the series 2-1.
Well, no home team has won. They went out to New York and beat the Knicks twice, and then the Knicks come to Indiana and beat them once.
I see.
2-1, so they got to beat them again in Indiana to get the home court back.
And speaking of Indiana Fever player Caitlin Clark for the WNBA left quad strain.
Please tell me that
she'll sit out a few games.
Please tell me the WNBA will be smart enough to embrace her someday. She is the Michael Jordan you've been looking for.
I know.
Why is she
all
being
mean girls?
I don't get it. You're making $75,000 a year. Do you know back in the day before Michael Jordan, there was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. They were good players. Michael Jordan, he came to the league in, 84. Everybody started making crazy money after the 90s run. Michael never made more than $4 million a year till the last couple of years he played. He went from $4 million to $30 million a year because he deserved it.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson had a big contract, $1 million a year. That's all Magic made. Larry Bird was under $1 million a year. And then Michael Jordan showed up. So Caitlin Clark could be the not to that level, but she got $27 million from Nike. But she has a chance to, a rising tide raises all boats. What are you ladies thinking? She's your star, man. Embrace it. Get over it. Get over yourselves.
Yeah.
All right, Busey wants you to make sure your mobile device is safe. Use the passcode lock on your smartphone and other devices. I know it's annoying, but it's good to be safe. Log out completely when you finish a mobile banking session for sure. Use caution when downloading apps. Be careful of that. Download the updates of your phone and mobile apps. You need to do that. Avoid storing sensitive information. Tell your financial institution immediately if you change your phone number or lose your mobile device. That's big. Be aware of shoulder surfers. There are people that are very clever that look over your shoulder. Very annoying. Wipe your mobile device before you donate it, sell, or trade it. And report any suspected fraud to your bank immediately. Busey promises to help you protect your information and identity by providing practical, effective suggestions for avoiding security issues and scams. If you go to moneymatters.busey.com, there's just a plethora of information. Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC.
St. Louis Cardinals will continue their series with Baltimore with a 4:40 pregame, 5:35 first pitch on ESPN 93.5.
All right, I think the Cubs must play.
They play Colorado
all
again.
right,
7:05 over on US 105.9.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
That's so.
8:19.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Gorgeous day's worth of weather yesterday for the holiday, and a decent amount of it over the past weekend as well. Next weather system, week one, moving its way out of the plains into the northern extent of some of those storms and showers that have brought flooding, rain, and severe weather from Oklahoma and Texas on eastward. That'll stay well down to the south and southeast in the coming days. Up near 70 today with a mostly cloudy sky, a little filtered sun around as well, and a couple of spotty, sprinkly showers this morning and perhaps this afternoon as well. Occasional showers tonight, lows down at 55. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow, near 70 with a smaller rain chance both morning and afternoon. That north-northwesterly wind continues on as well. Well, about tomorrow night at 52, partly sunny and 72. The outlook for the day on Thursday. Warm up begins Friday into the weekend and into next week as well as we welcome in meteorological summertime in June 1st. Partly cloudy 77 on Friday. Sunshine for the weekend. 81 Saturday. A Sunday high on June 1st of 85. Low to mid-80s next Monday and Tuesday. For Steve Vijay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Orders for expensive manufactured things declined in April. Durable goods orders were down 6.3%. Economists were expecting an even larger decline of 7.8%. Durable goods include everything from refrigerators to airplanes. Excluding transportation, durable goods orders rose 0.2%. There is a tech merger this morning. Slack's parent company Salesforce is buying business software company Informatica. The deal is valued at about $8 billion. AutoZone is reporting a mixed quarter. The stock is higher. Optimism has returned to Wall Street after President Trump agreed to delay 50% tariffs on the European Union until July 9th, and the EU is fast-tracking talks with the U.S. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosolda. Invested in you.
It's the Will Cain Podcast.
I think this long-term play is an attempt to reorganize the global economy, to arrest the fall of the American empire. I don't know whether or not it will work or whether or not it will fail, but I do know that the path that we were on, even if in the short term the economy looked good, the path that we were on has been a path that is well trod by many empires before us, and we might want to try to reposition or arrest that fall and sustain the American empire.
Get the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tim Culver, owner and president of Classic Plumbing and Air.
A plumber is a person that is well-rounded. They have education, they have experience, and they are versed in more than only one phase of plumbing. A plumber is someone that has experience in all three phases, and they understand how all three of these plumbing aspects work together as well.
Was in the heating and air conditioning business for approximately 30 years and then retired in 2021. So I came out of retirement because I'm very big on taking care of our local community. The most satisfying part of my job is when I know that I've done the right thing for the customer, taking care of the customer's happy, and when I walk out the door that I'm not afraid to put a sign out in front of their house that says, "This job was done by Chuck Thompson, Classic Plumbing and Air."
Visit them at classicplum.com.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty talking to us in studio. Maybe you have an aging parent who's been in this property for a long time, but they need something that's more reasonable for that chapter of life. Reaching out to you makes sense, and talking about options for the future.
Yeah, the biggest shortage we continue to find is the downsizing opportunities into ranch-style homes in some of our more rural communities. Over the last 2 years, we've been trying to hit those challenges and find solutions for them. So we've been looking at all of our small outlying communities, St. Joe, Tolono, Rantoul, Paxton, Fisher, and we're looking at different ways and opportunities in these more rural, smaller communities to give them the ability to downsize their house without sacrificing the luxuries that they're used to.
It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113. Do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Sell your home with Nate.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
F&B Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. F&B securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC, member FINRA, SIPC, MSTC, and F&B are not affiliated.
F&B Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
It's dollar stretching season at Brock. Now's the time to get an outstanding deal on Brock's full line of storage, conditioning, handling, and structure products for your grain. As an authorized independent Brock dealer, Paul's in Villa Grove can help you stretch your hard-earned dollars while providing a proven Brock system that offers greater quality and value. Don't delay. The earlier you buy, the better the pricing. See Paul's today. These deals won't last long. Paul'sMachine.com.
Yeah, the two remaining New Orleans jailbreakers are out there somewhere. They caught the most recent in Baton Rouge and also in Walker, Texas. Walker County, Texas. So just 2 remain of the 10 that escaped. 13 have been arrested for helping them or harboring them. And the Attorney General of New Orleans said, of Louisiana rather, said, yeah, if you're harboring them, you're arrested, you're going to go to jail. So you've got, obviously, friendlies. Even the bad guys have friends.
Mm-hmm.
And where else they're going to go?
I was reading about a Grant Hardin 56 escaped from a North Carolina user prison using a makeshift outfit designed to mimic law enforcement. He is a former police chief that was in jail for rape
so
and murder.
He would know how to do stuff. Anyway, we'll see what happens in the Big Easy if they find the final 2. I'm sure they will, but all the people inside. The one guy said, I had to turn off the water, but he said he was going to stab me. Is that a defense? I mean, can you not get in trouble because you're threatened? Was he threatened?
Stab you with a butter knife in a
I don't think they get a butter knife. I don't think they have anything like that.
Stab you with...
They'll get you. I got friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're fearful. Does that make you turn off the water, and should you be arrested for that? Terrence Shannon, thank you, Ryan. Did
yes.
Played 8 minutes?
I just
8 minutes, 9 points.
I
15,
think so, yeah.
15
there
on Friday and 9 points last night. Why isn't he playing more?
I know. 8 minutes and 9 points yesterday.
Man.
For, of course, the Minnesota Timberwolves as they play the Thunder in the playoffs.
He just
13 minutes, 15 points.
Seems to come in and just energize everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe he'll be traded. I don't know. But Terrence Shannon is doing it. Now, for whatever he's getting, he's being productive.
That's right.
And that's impressive to score all. But he gets the ball and goes to the basket. Dunks it. Right over you. So, anyway, good for him. Okay, I think the Cubs are real. I watched them play the Cincinnati Reds over the weekend. They were down by 5 runs twice and came back and won. And Pete Crow Armstrong, is he that good?
Right.
Or is he having a year, and will they figure him out?
Right. I got a text from Father Joe, who's a big Cubs fan, and said we should talk about
Pete
PCA.
Crow Armstrong is I mean, doesn't he lead the National League in home runs or something? He's like 15 or something.
Really?
No, I don't know what's going on. I'm not believing him yet. I think he's an amazing athlete, making great catches out there, but I'm not believing he's that good. I think the pitching will catch up and they'll hit spots that he's not used to, and he'll have to adjust.
He's only 23.
No, he's a big splash. I'm not buying it until I see it next year. Remember Dansby Swanson? Awful, really good, awful. Yeah, really good. I mean, it's an up and down thing because they figure things out on you.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete Crow Armstrong has a weakness. They just haven't figured it out. And
He's got 14 home runs so far this
He had
season.
a grand slam against the Reds. And he's an emotional player. He's the kind that the opposing... By the way, how many Cub fans went to Cincinnati?
I know.
I mean, Cincinnati draws decently.
Whenever you heard the crowd roar.
It was nuts.
Right.
And the Reds fans are simply booing the Cubs fans. They weren't booing anybody but the fans, because the fans are chanting, "Go Cubs, go!"
I know.
And it's in your face. Well, that's the Cubs. I'm telling you, I'm not sure they drove from Chicago, as they just have fans everywhere. And the Cubs are good. I mean, I don't think they're going to be good enough to beat the Dodgers or Phillies, but you never know. I mean, you can get hot. But I think Cubs offense is a real deal, and I think their pitching's pretty good. So I think the Cubs are surprisingly there. And we've got them all on US 105.9. I think more and more of you are listening. Pat Hughes, Ron Comer. Good radio broadcast, because you can't sit in front of a TV all your life. You got to be out and around.
That's right.
So we carry all their games, and they got Colorado, and they're heavy favorites. Colorado's not very good, so Cubs hoping to get all three of these games.
3-1 winners yesterday, and Cade Horton to the mound for the Cubs with a 7:05 start on US 105.9.
Something coming up with the Cardinals.
The school year is finally over, and it's summer vacation for all our teachers. Celebrate at Busch Stadium. Teachers Night, presented by Millipore Sigma, is back at the ballpark on Monday, June 9th. With the purchase of a special theme ticket, you can take home an exclusive Teachers-inspired Cardinals jersey featuring the birds on a pencil. As a special treat, the first drink of the summer is on the Cardinals. That's Monday, June 9th, Teachers Night at the ballpark. For tickets and details, visit cardinals.com/theme.
This is Steven Matz, St. Louis Cardinals for the Loop.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Fox News. I'm Therese Crowley. Russia's strange war dance with President Trump losing patience after its drone blitz on Ukraine. Russia now says it's grateful to President Trump for the peace process, but Fox's Jonathan Savage.
President Donald Trump clearly upset by Russia's largest aerial assault yet on Ukraine and frustrated by a lack of progress towards peace, saying his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin had gone absolutely crazy. The Kremlin's hit back, Putin's spokesman saying the crazy comment was connected to an emotional overload of everyone involved.
The FBI under Kash Patel reopening 3 high-profile cases uncracked by the Biden FBI, including cocaine in a White House cubby. 3 more inmates on a jailbreak from New Orleans captured. 2 of them got as far as Walker County, Texas, nabbed by Texas DPS. 13 people so far charged with aiding and abetting. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Pittsfield High School mourning after 2 students killed in a 2-car crash in Morgan County. Officials confirming that senior Jesse Davidsmeyer and junior Joel Noble died and followed an accident Saturday at the intersection of Highway 67 and Woodson-Winchester Road in Woodson. Counseling and additional resources are available. A teen charged after a 4-year-old shot in Champaign. Police say a young child found with a gunshot wound to the foot Saturday at an apartment in the 2400 block of North Neal Street. Child sent to the hospital in stable condition. The teen arrested. Initial charges including reckless discharge of a firearm. Illinois Department of Natural Resources monitoring black bear sightings in southwestern Illinois. Bear first spotted last Monday in St. Clair County. Animal observed again Wednesday and Thursday last week in the same county. Bear has had no interaction with humans, but has damaged some beehives on private property. Watch out for those bears. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
I was born in Louisiana.
July of 1936. The world welcomed George Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy, that is.
Now, after live performances spanning generations, the legend says goodbye. Buddy Guy, the Damn Right Encore. June 24th, the Virginia Theater. Special guest, Taj Farrant. Tickets on sale now at thevirginia.org. From the Damn Right Farewell Tour comes the Damn Right Encore. Buddy Guy, live.
Hark, there be a barge of overseas appliances, overpriced tariff-laden goods. Unload quick! We don't have any other choice but to pay the high prices.
Sure we do.
Well, if my eyes don't deceive me, it be Paul Rican from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. What speak ye about saving money?
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you don't need to worry about overpriced tariff goods. We are stocked with pre-tariff inventory.
You don't need me overpriced appliances from overseas?
Nope, we're good. We even have Speed Queen in stock made right here in the good old Midwest.
You want none of it?
We have 2 warehouses full of pre-tariff inventory and a service department to repair your existing appliance if you want to save even more money instead of buying new.
Well, I'll be. Can I interest ye in me lobster bisque?
Well, it is 9 a.m.
You got to try me lobster bisque.
Okay, all right, I'll get some to go. Take credit card?
With a 5% service charge and sign here for a minimum 30% tip.
Wow. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Hey Illini fans, it's Luke Altmaier here, starting quarterback for your Fighting Illini football team.
Get to him, he's going to run right, he's in, touchdown, touchdown, Illinois, Luke Altmaier, what a throw by Altmaier.
Altmaier's big time. We invite you to be a part of the action this year at Memorial Stadium. After a 10-win season and a Citrus Bowl victory, get your season tickets now for 2025 and make this season unforgettable.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Hopefully enjoy that long holiday weekend. Caught a break of the rainfall. That was nice to enjoy. But a piece of that weather system that's impacting big rain and big severe weather outbreaks on the southern plains, lower Mississippi Valley, and the deep south. At least some of that is coming our way, but in a much weaker and lighter fashion. Up to 70 today. A couple of spotty showers around this morning and this afternoon. Gusty northeast wind. Occasional showers tonight. We'll bottom out at around 55. Tomorrow, partly sunny. Smaller chance for a stray rain shower both morning and afternoon. Highs near 70 and a north-northwesterly wind. Down to 52 tomorrow night. Partly sunny and 72 the outlook on Thursday. That pattern shift that we've talked about, at least into a warmer and drier setup, begins later this week at 77 on Friday. Into the low and mid-80s Saturday. June 1st on Sunday. It'll feel that way at 85 and low to mid-80s covering much of the area for much of the next week. We remain rain-free Monday and Tuesday as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Attention drivers. When it comes to your car, trust matters. That's why savvy drivers choose PDR Automotive for top-notch service and unbeatable quality. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, their team of expert technicians has the skill and experience to keep your vehicle running smoothly. At PDR Automotive, customer satisfaction is their priority, and they won't rest until your car is back on the road performing at its best. Visit PDR Automotive in Urbana today, family-owned and operated for more than 50 years. They're what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
The world is full of famous piles. Stonehenge, a majestic pile of rocks. The Great Pyramids, the Great Wall of China, a truly impressive pile of bricks. And then there's your pile, maybe not so famous. 2 Men and a Junk Truck can remove those not so famous piles of stuff you've collected. 2 Men and a Junk Truck, proudly part of the 2 Men and a Truck family, making space for what matters most. Schedule your pickup at 2menandajuncktruck.com. Use code RADIO25 to save $25 on your next junk removal service.
Sarah Champagne's been Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheese, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. Yeah, Terrence Shannon's driving a Sarah Champagne Beamer.
That's right.
Nice BMW, and of course he's signed for $4 million.
Wow,
pretty good money.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Where are we at on the NBA draft? Is that early June then?
Yeah, I think it's middle June.
Okay,
like June 25 or something. Yeah,
Kaspar Giacochonis and Will Riley.
Yeah. All right, Charlie Kirk from Turning Point was on our campus. He's from Chicago. Mm-hmm. I think Charlie's 30.
Right.
I think Charlie would win $1 bazillion on Jeopardy. He's really, really, really smart. The kid never went past high school.
31 from Arlington Heights.
Yep, he went to grade 12, and that was it. No college. So I just wanted to play at least part of this.
Is this from Turning Point USA?
This is Turning Point USA, but Charlie's out on the road a lot. He has 2 young girls and a beautiful wife. And I think brilliant, maybe, is the word. But listen to how much information he can extract from his brain after this question.
Our country was founded on common law because the Declaration only refers to God 4 times in the Constitution. It doesn't refer to God at all. And it only articulates the structure of government.
So first of all, remember that we were a collection of states and colonies, and you need to read the state constitutions before anything else. 9 out of 13.
Has anybody in their life ever read a state constitution? Ever? Apparently, Charlie read all 13 of the original colonies.
13 of the original states required you to be a Bible-believing Christian to serve in government at the time of the founding. All 13 out of 13 required a declaration of faith. 9 out of 13 required you to be a Protestant, except Maryland, which was Catholic, which still required a declaration of faith. Almost every single one of the original state constitutions, Pennsylvania included, they had, I profess Lord and Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior in the original state constitutions. You remember, we're a collection of states before that. Secondly, 55 out of 56 of the original signers of the Declaration were Bible-believing, church-attending Christians. So common law is inherited from Blackstone, who was Christian. A common law is an outgrowth of the scriptures. So let's go to 3 principles of common law: presumption of innocence, due process, and jury of your peers. All 3 are biblical principles, wrapped into the ultimate biblical principle that you shall not favor justice if you are rich or poor, which is in Leviticus 19, right before the most famous part of Leviticus 19, which is that you should love your neighbor as yourself. But before that is that in the administration of justice, you shall not favor the rich or the poor, which is the idea of blind justice. We get that in the West, which is incorporated also in the New Testament ideal. Neither slave nor Greek nor Jew, you're all one in Jesus Christ, which we get the idea of human equality. These are all biblical ideas. They're not Enlightenment ideas, which is they kind of get conflated at the time. But more importantly than that, they say that God was only mentioned 4 times in the Declaration of Independence. Well, that's a big deal. Okay. Laws of nature and nature's God. The last paragraph of the Declaration reads as a prayer. It says, we appeal to the supreme judge of the universe. Who's the judge of the universe? Jesus Christ. It says in Revelation that Jesus will judge the earth on his throne. So in the Declaration, they were praying to Christ our Lord as a prayer very specifically. Thirdly, as
It just is stunning. No notes, not reading anything. Just off the top of his head did that after a spontaneous question. Okay. I did not know you had to profess to be a follower of Jesus Christ in the original 13 colony state constitutions.
Right.
Anybody know that?
Can you imagine if that was part of it today?
I mean, it's those are the original 13. I'm sure our state constitutions have not. Separation of churches. Where does it say that in the Constitution again? Does it say that in the Constitution? I think not. Just we kind of thought it was a good idea. I mean, we don't want to be forced to go to a place of worship that we're not. That's a free choice. We got away from the king because king was you had to be part of the Church of England. Anyway, Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, 31 years old, and I think crazy smart. It's one thing to read, it's another thing to retain it all. Be able to talk about that to that degree. Pretty crazy. All right, 217-359-2255. You want to jump on the Fisher National Bank text line? We appreciate Fisher National Bank sponsoring our text line. We love hearing from you. And
I was just looking up the separation of church and state statement, and the First Amendment of the Constitution was ratified in 1791, and its interpretation by the Supreme Court.
They interpreted it,
right,
as separation, but it wasn't written as separation of church and state.
Exactly right.
That's what I thought. Okay, 8:42 ESPN 93.5. Quick check of your sports and weather before we get out of here.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise. But Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Don't miss the Memorial Day sale at Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. All stores are celebrating the grand opening of the new 4-size showroom. Now you can buy 1 square foot of any floor and get the second foot half off. That's any carpeted floor. It's all BOGO half off. Plus, you could shop the amazing selection of furniture, rugs, and accessories, and it's all buy one, get one half off. And buy with 2 years free financing. It's the Memorial Day sale, extended through Sunday at Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus, barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstott, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
All right, we check your sports headlines.
Baltimore beat the St. Louis Cardinals 5-2 yesterday. Andre Palante on the mound for the Cardinals. It's a 4:40 pregame and 5:35 first pitch here on ESPN 93.5 as that series continues. Pat Hughes and Ron Comer on the mound. Did they used to pitch back in the day? Ron was a catcher.
Ron was something else, yeah, but he was a player.
Yeah. So
I don't
Cubs
think Pat ever pitched.
beat Colorado yesterday 3-1. Cade Horton to the mound for the Cubbies and German Marquez for the Rockies. 7:05 first pitch on US 105.9. We also had the Mets over the White Sox 2-1. Their contest will start in New York at 6:10. Illinois men's golf, not so much. Season ended in round 3 of the NCAA tournament, but 3 Ping all Midwest region team members with Jackson Buchanan, Max Herendeen, and Ryan Voice. Oklahoma.
They didn't do particularly well, but they did well in the region in Urbana.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they did great.
And, came out with some awards in the end.
Okay.
So FightIllini.com for more details on what exactly those awards were at the end of the season. Oklahoma City over Minnesota yesterday, 128-126. Terrence Shannon had a few minutes and made some points. In fact, 15 points when in Game 3, but the Thunder still lead that series 3-1. We also had the New York Knicks over the Indiana Pacers yesterday, but Pacers lead that series 2-1. Caitlin Clark with a left quad strain. New York Liberty ended up beating the Indiana Fever in WNBA action. And the Indy 500 winner, in case you were missing that on Sunday, 350,000 fans, Alec Palo got the checkered flag.
Yep.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. Sarah Champagne Managing Partner Ben Quattrone on why integrity is important at Sarah.
We hire the person. The person makes the deal. The person makes the department. The person makes everyone around them treat people with courtesy and respect. If you have a quality human being, you can play any position, right? We're talking about sports. They can perform in any department, and I could teach someone a job, but I can't teach them to be a good person.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com.
Don't miss the Memorial Day sale at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. All stores are celebrating the grand opening of the new Forsyth showroom. Now you can buy 1 square foot of any floor and get the second foot half off. That's any carpet or floor. It's all BOGO half off. Plus, you could shop the amazing selection of furniture, rugs, and accessories, and it's all buy one, get one half off. And buy with 2 years free financing. It's the Memorial Day sale, extended through Sunday at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Hopefully enjoy that long holiday weekend. Caught a break of the rainfall. That was nice to enjoy. But a piece of that weather system that's impacting big rain and big severe weather outbreaks on the southern plains, lower Mississippi Valley, and the deep south. At least some of that is coming our way, but in a much weaker and lighter fashion. Up to 70 today. A couple of spotty showers around this morning and this afternoon. Gusty northeast wind. Occasional showers tonight. We'll bottom out at around 55. Tomorrow, partly sunny. Smaller chance for a stray rain shower both morning and afternoon. Highs near 70 and a north-northwesterly wind. Down to 52 tomorrow night. Partly sunny and 72 the outlook on Thursday. That pattern shift that we've talked about, at least into a warmer and drier setup, begins later this week at 77 on Friday. Into the low and mid-80s Saturday. June 1st on Sunday. It'll feel that way at 85 and low to mid-80s covering much of the area for much of the next week. We remain rain-free Monday and Tuesday as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Next week on an all-new Law and Order. Order! We convene here for case 217, Spring Green versus Weeds. Spring Green, the floor is yours. The weeds are infectious. The weeds steal the beauty from your lawn. We offer personalized lawn care, a mid-season checkup, and a simple and transparent process. Just click on to spring-green.com for a quote. Okay, Spring Green wins. Weeds, you're out. That's spring-green.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
All right, don't forget it's Tuesday because pretty easy to think it's Monday if you had a nice 3-day weekend.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And so off we go into the rest of the week. It'll feel nice and short as tomorrow's hump day already. Mm-hmm. It's our friend Ed Martin, who's Assistant Deputy Attorney General of the United States now, as his titles continue to change every month. But he was going to be the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. Jeanine Pirro, Judge Pirro from Fox, is now in that seat.
Yes.
And I think she'll be pretty darn good at that, but apparently confirmation easy on Jeanine Pirro. Anyway, so Ed was probably a little too feisty in the January 6th stuff, and I think it made everybody uncomfortable.
I see.
Why are they uncomfortable? Don't we want to know everything about that?
We do.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, Ed's on tomorrow with Brother Johnny. I'm not sure where Johnny is. Colorado? New Orleans? Not sure. Anyway, that'll be tomorrow. And we also will have a couple of Stevers coming your way, including Jet's Pizza. So stand by for that if you like Jet's Pizza. And who doesn't like Jet's Pizza?
Absolutely. It's a great place to stop for lunch if you're thinking of it. You get a couple of slices and a soda or water or something, and it's less than $10. I think it's like $8. I love it.
And we are under 100 days before Illinois starts their football season.
Wow.
That's like 90-some days.
I'm still holding on to May. I know May 31st on Saturday will be the Wine Walk. Starts at noon. Champaign Center Partnership is bringing that on, and that'll be a whole lot of fun for people. They can take up to 400 people on this event as you sign up at champagnecenter.com, and it's sold out in the past. It is a happening thing.
And again, we've talked a lot about the Action Auction with the Rotary on Friday night.
Yes.
It's going to be a packed place.
That's going to be fun at the iHotel and Conference Center.
Nearly 400 people will be there, and the auction items are very, very unique.
Speaking of the iHotel, we got a text from Sam, who had, practically a brush with fame with Serena Williams, who was just, he got a nice...
On the set.
Exactly.
Talking to the TV people.
Very close.
Sam was right there, though.
I know.
I should hooked him up with John Decker, who's over there as well.
The French Open that's going on.
John Decker was in the press room for Rafael Nadal and got a question and everything, so pretty cool.
And Rafael Nadal has, I think, retired then, huh?
Yes,
at the age of 38.
All right, we'll meet tomorrow, Diane Ducey.
Enjoy the day,
All
Stevie.
right, thank you. You as well. And you out there listening, thank you very much. To drive this afternoon after 3 o'clock. Tune in for that. I'm Stevie J. Meet back on the radio tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now at Lands, it's a great time to buy a new Trane heating and cooling system. We are offering special financing or up to $1,500 off any qualifying Trane system. At Lands, we know what it takes to deliver exceptional comfort, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you are thinking of a new comfort system, now is the time to buy. And remember, it's hard to stop a Trane. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Don't miss the Memorial Day sale at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. All stores are celebrating the grand opening of the new 4-size showroom. Now you can buy 1 square foot of any floor and get the second foot half off. That's any carpeted floor. It's all BOGO half off. Plus, you could shop the amazing selection of furniture, rugs, and accessories, and it's all buy one, get one half off. And buy with 2 years free financing. It's the Memorial Day sale, extended through Sunday at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus, barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstott, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com.
7-piece dining